But Senator, first of all, they haven't provided proof of fraud, but talk to the people in Oklahoma who've lost their jobs, who say they are hurting. They don't know how they're going to pay their mortgage. They don't know how they're going to make ends meet. Talk to those people. What's your message to them? They say enough of these cuts.
What Oklahomans want is to make sure that we get rid of the waste and fraud inside the federal government, and that's exactly what the president has done. They've already identified billions of dollars of waste and fraud for the taxpayers.
That's NBC host and crazy-eyed woman who thinks making finger pyramids and pretending to nod thoughtfully makes her a journalist, Kristen Welker, attempting to emotionally blackmail Senator Markwayne Mullin over DOGE job cuts, only for it to blow up in her face once again. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and if you've ever needed evidence to prove who establishment media is truly loyal to, look no further than their recent campaign to advocate for fired government workers, who they've seemed to run to the defense of more than any other group of laid off or unemployed Americans in recent memory. Here's Welker unsuccessfully attempting to make Senator Mullin squirm by once again pretending that American tax dollars are a form of charity.
Well, I would tell you that the majority of the American people want to make sure that their taxpayers are being used correctly. I don't want anybody to lose their job. That's the last thing we want. But at the same time, anytime you're trying to secure this country, which a national security risk we have right now is our national debt, we have to make changes, and we have to make it quickly. Unfortunately, when we have bureaucrats and politicians that have wastefully spent the American taxpayer dollars, and we don't have to look any further than USAID to see the wasteful billions of dollars that were spent, cuts had to take place. And every business owner understands this. Every business owner understands that you have to get your house in order before you can advance. That's exactly what DOGE is doing. Think about this. Every successful business owner out there and every successful business has hired consultants to come in and take an unbiased look and make changes, because sometimes when you're so close to it, you can't see what the real changes need to take place. Elon Musk is the United States consultant right now. He is literally the best entrepreneur we've had in our lifetime, and he's doing it for free, and he's taking an unbiased look saying these programs make no sense. Let's save the taxpayer dollars and get our house in order.
You know, it's so heinous how establishment media types like this don't make a peep when Biden tells blue-collar workers facing job insecurity to learn to code, or when Jen Psaki told thousands of oil, gas, and pipeline workers fired by the White House to get green jobs if they wanted to remain employed. I mean, you can certainly empathize with people losing their jobs, and I'm sure there are a lot of good workers who are really stressed out right now. However, that doesn't mean that they're entitled to those jobs, or that we as Americans are required to keep wasting money on inefficient or unnecessary government positions.
Senator, let me ask you about the breaking news that happened late Friday night when President Trump fired Joint Chiefs of Staff C.Q. Brown, who President Trump himself picked 5 years ago to lead the Air Force. I want to play you some of what Democratic Congressman James Clyburn had to say in reaction. Take a look.
Is that why you think the president has let him go, because he's black?
That's what I think. When they say DEI, we know what it means. As I heard somebody say earlier today, they are substituting these acronyms for the N word. So why would you apply the term woke to General Brown? What does that mean?
Senator Mullin, what is your reaction to Congressman Clyburn? Do you think that C.Q. Brown was fired because he's black?
Unfortunately, Congressman Clyburn, he constantly pulls a race card out. This has nothing to do with this. We're a civilian force, and the president gets to choose his closest advisors, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is his closest advisors. Obviously, he said very positive things about General Brown, even when he was dismissing him. But the president has a right to pick people around him that he wants to, that he trusts. And at some point, he chose to go a different direction. This had absolutely zero to do with race. Keep in mind, the reason why he was on the promoted the first time was because President Trump did that in his last administration. So that it's dangerous every time the left wants to pull out the race card. It's dangerous and reckless and ridiculous.
All right.
You gotta love how the left will just make something completely insane up, like Trump is racist because he's getting rid of a person that he initially picked to lead the Air Force 5 years ago, and then ask people like Mullin to defend their crazy position as if it's something something he came up with. I mean, you can even see this with Clyburn's tired argument about the real meaning of the words DEI and woke. Legitimately, no one on the right thinks what he's arguing. Those words aren't shorthand for race or gender, they're shorthand for hiring incompetent people in the name of race and gender. No one uses those terms for people who are legitimately good at their jobs. They're used for people like Karine Jean-Pierre, who even according to the Biden administration wasn't hired on the basis of merit. And more importantly, they're applied to General Brown because he's a vocal advocate for that kind of stuff and did things like set goals to specifically shift demographics away from white males, thus making him incompetent and bad at his job. But let me know what you think. Are government workers entitled to their jobs on some level? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye.